It's one thing to hear 1,000 structures destroyed. It's another thing to see it and to think about each one of these homes. And we're just talking about the Palisades fire. Obviously, many more homes also destroyed in the Eaton fire in Altadena, but this is Pacific Palisades, and we're finally actually seeing what was burning overnight. And it, the word war zone is such a cliche, but this does look like an area that has been bombed.
To say that I am just merely pissed off is an understatement. My heart is like flat out broken right now. So if you've been paying attention to the news, you would know that Los Angeles is on fire. And as far as I'm aware right now, as of recording this, there are 4 fires within the Los Angeles area. While I no longer live in the Los Angeles area, I have lived in Los Angeles for almost 3 decades. And I'm very aware that fires in Los Angeles are business as usual when it comes to climate catastrophe. I think the first thing that I need to say about that is it shouldn't have to be that way in the first place. Wildfires are a natural phenomenon in Los Angeles, but they've only been accelerated because of climate change. And while fires have been a natural phenomenon in the area, fires were, controlled by the indigenous people of that area. It was used to control the ecosystem instead of destroying the ecosystem. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up controlled burnings. But that's not even what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about more specifically is how the city government of Los Angeles is handling all of this.
Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor?
As of right now, Sheriff Robert Luna has arrested 2 people for looting in the area, and he has a message for others who intend to loot for their own survival.
It's always sad when I have to say this, but part of our responsibility is to make sure that no one loots or steals from our residents, our community members who are already being impacted. And I'm sad to report we've made 2 arrests this morning for looting already. So if you are thinking about coming into any of these areas to steal from our residents, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to be caught, you're going to be arrested, and you're going to be prosecuted. Don't do that.
Come on, dumb fuck. Why do you think people are looting right now? Because they're trying to survive. There's a reason why you work for the LA Sheriff and not for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in La Cañada, California. Because you can't put 2 and 2 together. While the Los Angeles Police Department got an increase of their budget like usual, this is not new, the Los Angeles Fire Department got heavily defunded by millions of dollars. Can you imagine paying your taxes and then your taxes go to the wrong thing that actually does not save your ass in the end? No wonder people like me want to abolish the state. The state doesn't even work at a basic, most fundamental level. And keep this in mind as the Los Angeles Police Department has gained an increase of funding over the last 4 years. More than any other department in the entire fucking city. Yeah, big round of applause to the LAPD who protected a fucking Albertsons from 2 looters out of the entire city who is struggling right now with a crime rate that is at an all-time low. And of course, maybe it does need to be said, but Google LASD gangs. If you know, you know. Meanwhile, people are losing their fucking fire insurance right now.
This is my parents' home. They got canceled from their fire insurance, so they're dealing with this. They're 90 years old. They've lived in this house for 75 years, and they've had the same insurance, and these insurance people decided to cancel their fire. And we're going through this, and it just happened, and they have no fire insurance.
Which means that people who are losing their fucking homes are not able to get their homes covered by insurance, that they keep paying for. It's wild to me that insurance is the only industry where when you need them to actually pull through for you, they won't actually pull through for you, yet you pay for it. This is the evils of privatization and the capitalist system at work.
Thank you, California insurance companies supporting residents who pay taxes and love California. and they wonder why people leave California.
It also just really irritates me that the superintendent of the Los Angeles Unified School District is not shutting down school in light of 4 massive fucking fires in the Los Angeles area. Minor correction, they're shutting down these schools, but they're not shutting down all of the schools. This means that a lot of schools are still in session. That means if your student has one of these, say goodbye to your student's life. I just contemplated onto whether or not I wanted to make like a larger video about Los Angeles for a very long time, just considering that Los Angeles has a very serious gentrification problem. And of course, all of these complaints are not the people of Los Angeles' fault. In fact, on the contrary, the people of Los Angeles have been vocally opposed to all of this capitalistic fucking nonsense, at least as far as I'm aware, because I know for a fact that Los Angeles people are not all just a bunch of fucking people up in the Beverly Hills or the Bel Airs. In fact, a lot of times what people don't understand is that there are so many people who are on the streets of LA due to this gentrifying circumstance. And now that we're seeing 4 massive fires, the homeless population is only going to increase even further. And what's even worse is that yes, while a lot of the fires are up in the hills, there are a lot of poor people who do live up in the hills, and they usually do work minimum wage jobs. Take the fire that's in Sylmar, for example. Sylmar is not a very rich neighborhood. On the contrary, I used to live in Sylmar. In fact, I was homeless in Sylmar at one point. Also, the fire that's in the San Gabriel area. I was also homeless in the San Gabriel area as well. There are parts of the San Gabriel Valley, like Pasadena, California, that are pretty bougie, but these are only pockets of the San Gabriel Valley, as places like El Monte and Altadena are in serious danger. There are people right now who, before the fire, were already struggling because of the gentrifying circumstances of the capitalist system. So all this is doing is just making that situation a million times worse. Yeah, and I'm sorry to Sheriff Robert Luna, but I don't blame people for looting in the Los Angeles area, especially for right now. And I just think that it's really ridiculous that the LAPD got a budget increase and that the fire department did not. What are the police gonna fucking do? Just like arrest the fire, shoot the fire, and ask questions later? No, the police are a part of what is called the prison industrial complex. Like, think about it. Functionally speaking, the fire department puts out fires. The LAPD has arresting power, sends people to jail who are likely going to be the ones looting for survival, and then they're going to employ those prisoners to do prison labor and fight those fires for $2 an hour. There is nothing ethical or humane or justifiable in any of this within the grand scheme of things.
Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them?
This is honestly just some sick bullshit at the end of the day. It's sick. It's disgusting. This is not okay. And I think the people who are running the city government of Los Angeles should be deeply ashamed. So ashamed that they should replicate a specific Japanese ritual. You know the one. The last thing I'm going to say is that if you have friends in Los Angeles that you are aware of who are struggling in all of this in any way, shape, or form, please reach out to them. They are in desperate need. Don't assume that since they live in LA that they are living the Hollywood life and that they're living baller and all that shit. No, they are struggling. They need food, they need water, they need electricity, they need power, they need shelter. Maybe they need a place to put their head down. They might even need a place to start their entire lives over. And I'm so sorry that all of my friends who live in LA, I can't be one of those people to offer that to you. I feel deeply ashamed that I'm not even there to, give one of my friends a place to stay now that I have a place to call my own. It's awful. And so I want to encourage anyone who's watching to do that with any of their friends who live in that area. To any of my friends or anybody who is watching this who lives in that area, stay aware of areas who have resources for you and just reach out for help if you can to any of your friends and family. That's it. That's all I have to say. See ya.
Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
Careful.